Well, guys, I hope you found that information beneficial. Thanks. What's up, everyone? It's Bruce Waha. Hope you're having a good day. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about medical information systems, the SEI codes, and the in and outs of being a LANshark. But before we get started, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you like what we're doing here at Wild at Heart. Alright, let's get into it. Now, systems is one of the most paramount units in the medical group, and being a LANshark is one of the most sought after positions a 4AO could want. Now, every position in the flight is essential to the success of the team. Communication, skills, knowledge, and efficiency are requirements for being part of this team. And the medical information systems flight has a direct impact on all units within the med group. Now, when a person thinks of systems, they're pretty much thinking of the stereotypical, IT crowd. They're thinking about anything that they've seen in a movie or in a TV show. But just like any other job in the military, there's so much more that is involved, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. And first, we're going to be kind of focusing on the new members of the team at the ground level. Those are the people that are answering the phones, those are the people that are showing up for the help desk tickets, those are the ones that you're talking to on a regular basis, and oftentimes are the most frustrating. And if you've been in the military for a good minute, you pretty much have at least one or two memories where something goes completely crazy on the system scale. When internet goes out, something goes out, and these are the guys that come in and kind of save the day. Now, the base knowledge and skill level of every member of the Medical Information Systems team is obtaining a Security Plus certification. Now, this is a nationally recognized certification, so oftentimes people are really seeking a position in systems because it automatically gives them a certification which can be transferred to the civilian sector. So what exactly does that mean? You having this certification automatically separates you from every single 4A in the med group. Even more so, you now have a solid foot in the door in all tech occupations in the civilian sector. Now, obtaining the certification gives you the ground level and all the base knowledge that you need to build on your career, or at least while you're in the information systems flight. It's going to give you all the, hardware knowledge. It's going to give you the software knowledge. It's going to give you the different processes, coding, all of these different things that you will need to know whenever you're just basically doing your daily tasks as part of the medical information systems flight. Now, if you're anything like I was, my knowledge on IT was absolutely abysmal. I didn't know how to do anything. I really didn't have an interest in that career field, but I was placed into that position. And the different pieces of knowledge that I picked up along the way, along with the skills, and just kind of how the system flight operates on its own, was actually very tremendous for me to kind of really take all of that in and adapt it to myself and in future roles that I would take on. Earning your FIN, or SEI code 264. Now, upon getting your Security Plus certification, you're going to have that SEI code automatically applied to your record. Upon receiving your Security Plus certification, you're going to get the SEI code 264 attached to your record. Now, this is the baseline certification, and while you have the SEI code, it doesn't mean that it stays connected to your record. You have to maintain that certification, or you have to get higher level certifications to continue in that career field. Depending on the size and the makeup of your flight, you could be processing tickets on the help desk, working cyber operations, or in some cases, even being a telecommunications manager or network specialist. You're going to be doing a lot of different things within that section of the career field. The SEI code keeps you connected to that. So whenever you're PCAing, PCSing, leadership is going to look to see what SEI codes you do have to best understand where they put you. That way you can provide the best benefits to the mission and support the mission in the best way possible. Now, unlike whenever I was part of the information systems flight, the GSC tickets now handle a lot of the low-level tier tickets. At the end of every day or different times during the day, I would periodically basically just run around the med group saying, hey, is everything working okay? Are you guys good? Do you need to do this, that, or the other thing? What do you need help with? And nowadays, you really don't do that. A lot of the GSC personnel and the website, they kind of take care of those low-level tickets. So you're only responding physically to higher tier level tickets. Now, with the conversations about shred outs, I definitely had to kind of dive a little deeper into what's going on with the medical information systems flight. I personally don't really have an interest in going back to that section of the career field. IT and technology and the systems section of it didn't really appeal to me in any way, shape, or form. I'm definitely glad I picked up the knowledge that I did. But now with the forays getting a shred out specifically for information systems, now there are a lot of significant changes going on in the career field right now, especially with the addition of a shred out for information systems. The best thing that you can do is probably attach any of your questions or research to DODI 8140.03, and that's going to explain how it changes the makeup of the certifications and the different experiences required to kind of move up in that career field. Now, the mission is to create, sustain, and innovate every aspect of the technology that we have within the med group. So a lot of different changes that go on within the med group I recently would be the implementation of the Genesis system. Medical information systems flight was the lifeblood of that whole change. Everything, they were involved in every single aspect of it, and I imagine they're going to continue to be involved in every different aspect of it to create, to sustain, and innovate. That's the mission of the medical information systems flight. They're involved in every transition of programs within the med group. A good example of it right now is the Genesis system, since all of the military is transitioning over to this Genesis system. They're very much involved in every single aspect of that whole process. And every single time that the medical group goes through a new system upgrade or system transition, they're the ones that are going to be at the head of it. If you're very passionate about technology and you want to involve yourself in that career field as much as possible, bring it up to your leadership. Let them know it's not an immediate process, but they know, hey, this is where the military will essentially get the best out of their airmen, is because, hey, you want to do this job, you want to be part of this career field. And this career field not only sets you up tremendously for the outside if you decide to transition into the civilian sector, at the same time it gives you a lot more knowledge and makes you a much more well-rounded foray. So you may be thinking to yourself, well, what's the difference between base comm and medical information systems? Well, really there's not a whole lot of difference between the two. The medical group is on a completely different system, just because there's HIPAA and all these other things that are specific to health management, and the base comm handles the whole other side of it. So the two career fields get the same certifications and they build their knowledge from there. Now, you're going to want to build a rapport with the base comm personnel, because you guys will work in tandem on a lot of different things. Now, you're going to be collaborating with base comm a lot, so you want to make sure that you keep that good rapport with them. The base comm monitors the SIPR systems. Medical information systems does not deal with that specific system a lot. They're actually obligated to contact base comm, who will come in and work on that. And trust me, just like any other system in the military, that system is going to go down when you need it the most. So as part of the medical information systems flight, you want to be able to just pick up that phone and contact base comm, and let them know, hey, we got this situation going on, we need you guys to come handle it ASAP, because anything that comes down on the SIPR system is high priority and high tier. Now you may be thinking to yourself, Gonzo, that sounds like a lot of work. It sounds like that I'm going to be busy all the time. And that's absolutely true. You're going to be busy all the time. However, the high visibility items that you're going to be working on equate to some really stellar bullets. So be sure to, while you're part of the medical information systems flight, to be jotting that information down, working with your supervisor, working with other people within the flight to write those award packages. That way you can get as much credit as you can, and you can get all the accolades that you can, because that flight is one of the big flights that where literally everything that you do impacts not only just the flight, it impacts the med group, and impacts the different command that you're in as well. So while you're in the systems flight, write down those bullets, submit those award packages. You may think to yourself, hey, you know what, I don't have time to do that, I don't want to concentrate on that. You know what, do it, definitely do it. It's gonna be a lot of work in that moment. It's gonna feel like you have a lot of other things that you need to focus on, but you have to carve out time to do these things for yourself, because they're ultimately gonna benefit you so much more than what you think they're going to. Now to touch base on what the life of a LANshark is gonna be like. The constant is, it's an uphill battle every single day. You're showing up for work and you're basically just waiting for something to go wrong. You're going to be doing different tasks and different projects that you're working on, taking care of the different computers that come in, formatting them, taking old computers, reformatting them, doing inventories, doing all of these things. And then something's going to go wrong and you need to drop everything and work on that. Or, one of the commanders or someone of a high level is going to come to you guys with a problem, and you basically have to drop everything and go do it. There's always going to be something wrong, and the weather and the wildlife, none of that is your friend. An example of this was being at my first duty station at Laughlin Air Force Base, where I was part of the medical information systems flight. Don't be at me, I don't know, this is just what I was told, where that the squirrels kept fucking with the power lines. They kept fucking with the power systems and getting themselves electrocuted, and then the grid would go down, and we had to come in and basically make sure that the network would remain up. And I mean, whenever I was part of the medical information systems flight, I was doing a lot. I was there a lot. I was, being on call all the time. So that is just something that's going to be part of your life. You're going to be on call. You're going to have the on-call phone, or they're just going to forward it over to your phone. You're going to be busy being part of this flight, for sure. Oftentimes, facilities management and medical logistics are going to be your best friends or your worst enemies. So try and be friendly and cordial with all of these flights. You're gonna quickly find out within each flight that you go to who you need to depend on the most, and who you can call in a favor at a crazy time. And I can promise you, working in multiple different offices within the career field, you're gonna be wanting to maintain good rapport with everybody, but systems is one of those guys that come in clutch every single time that you need them, and you're gonna need them. Another thing that you're gonna have to deal with constantly is that you're always gonna be behind on projects. You're always gonna be behind with inventory, with new projects, new aspects of a SharePoint or this, that. If it involves technology and a computer, and you have a target schedule, do your best to make that schedule. But if it's goes past the expected suspense date, don't be surprised. I mean, do everything that you can to keep it from that, but it's just something that you're gonna have to get used to. Everyone's issue is an emergency. depending on who it is that's coming to your office or who it is that's calling on your phone, they're like, hey, I need this fixed right now. You're not going to receive all of the praise that you deserve, that's for sure. But people do see the work that you put in. So just keep that in mind, rely on your teammates, and, keep each other up. And as a 4A, be sure to reach out to the systems people and just say thank you. Just say, hey, you guys are doing a good job. You have no idea how much that can mean to someone when they're constantly feeling like everything's on fire and they're trying just to make it through the day. Reach out to your systems flight, reach out to these people, because they're going to be, that friend that comes in clutch every single time. You're also quickly going to find out that rank, education, or skill level doesn't communicate over with common sense, especially when it comes to computers. You're going to be dumbfounded by the types of tickets that you see come across your desk or your computer. You're going to see that generational gap and that knowledge on what computers can do. For my generation, I remember, answering tickets for people of much higher rank than me and being shocked with the questions that I was being asked or the problems that were being presented. I had a ticket for someone in high leadership asking me to come fix their cup holder on their computer. I was very curious what they meant by a cup holder, and it turns out they thought that their CD drive tray that comes out was a cup holder, and that's what they were using it for. That was just one of the examples. You're gonna encounter some crazy things. Do your best to fix your face. Do your best to, keep that professional tone and go in there, do your job, fix whatever it is, answer that question on the phone with a smile as best as you can, and just help everyone out as much as possible. Because you're gonna lose faith, at least temporarily, in your fellow airmen. That's a big A airman. Anywhere from an E1 to an O, whatever. Just all of it is going to be just so mind-boggling, the things that you're going to encounter. So you're going to relate so hard to head desks memes and the "this is fine" meme and all of these things, because you're probably gonna feel like everything's just burning down around you, and all you can do is do your best to make yourself laugh, stay professional, do your job, take a knee wherever you need to, make sure that you keep your team, their morale up, and you support them as much as possible. Now, as far as gratitude goes, honestly, don't expect a lot. You will get the occasional thank you, but don't expect it to be heartfelt, I guess. Don't expect them to sing your praises. It's gonna be a very passive thank you. Hey, good job. Sometimes they'll mean it, sometimes they won't, and just do your best to just take it and accept it for what it is. This is one of those roles in the 4AO career field that's going to require you to operate outside of duty, come in out of different hours, support each other as much as possible, because the team that you surround yourself with is what's going to keep you afloat. It's what's going to keep you from, having a breakdown every 5 minutes or something. They're going to be the ones to motivate you to be better, to do more things, to put in that award, to go to that education course when you really just want to go home and go to sleep. So, gratitude, again, don't expect a lot, but when you do receive it, take it, don't just dismiss it. Take it and keep yourself and your teammates heads high, because you guys deserve it. And finally, just kind of, talking again about the different knowledge and skills that you pick up being part of this flight. Everything that you learn while in systems, the certifications that you get, all of that is going to transition to the civilian sector wonderfully. Those individuals get their SCI code, they get their certifications, they get, higher level certifications as well, and all of those things transition over to the civilian sector wonderfully. So you're going to set yourself up with a really good job as a civilian if you decide to, get out of the military, or if you decide to stay in the military, keep those certifications going, and it'll be there for you. I mean, it's such a great skill to have, and the military is going to pay for it. I know, saying that as a person that didn't keep their certification, I fully understand what I want to do while I'm in the military, and I fully understand what I want to do when I get out of the military. It is not in that world for me, but for people that it is, do that. Don't hesitate on it. Even if you got to go get that certification on your own, do whatever you can to make yourself an asset. And the military will see not only the work ethic that you have, but also the documentation that shows that you really do know what you're talking about and have those skills, and they'll most of the time get out of their own way and put you where you want to be, because it also is mutually beneficial. As far as unique opportunities for people within the systems flight, people within the systems flight will be attached to the MCC because they have to be there to fix any issue that goes on. As far as activating the MCC, as far as bugging out and going to an alternate location and, creating the new MCC there in location, those personnel have to be part of that group because you can't do anything without computers. There are deployments where they'll need someone within the systems flight to basically do the same thing. They'll be part of maybe like a ground surgical team or GST. They'll deploy to a specific location, and they'll be part of that deployment because they need to be able to fix any computer issues while on site. So there are a lot of unique opportunities that systems personnel will have available to them. And finally, just from my perspective, while I didn't volunteer to be part of the information systems flight, I'm very appreciative and grateful for the knowledge that I did pick up while I was there. Me having a better understanding of the technology, of the different programs, just the amount of things that you learn being part of that flight, and then also seeing how they're all connected to each other. That's a huge benefit. So again, like I mentioned, if you're passionate about technology, if you're passionate about the systems fields, talk to your leadership, let them know, hey, I really want to be part of this, I want to do it. And do not be surprised if you find yourself in that flight one day soon, because sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. But don't let that get in your way of pursuing your passions. Definitely, keep your head on a swivel. If you want to be part of that, go get those certifications on your own. The military will still pay for it. There are different, scholarships and programs which allow you to seek that out on your own. But, the big thing is bring it up to your leadership. Go talk to systems personnel. Go talk to the flight chief in the systems flight. Go talk to other members that are part of the systems flight. Go there and help out. You have some time, you get out of work early, go over there and express to them like, hey, I want to be here as a volunteer for you guys because I want to learn from you. There are a lot of ways that you can make yourself stick out and make yourself just, a sought after personnel to be part of the team. So just because you bring it up to your leadership and it doesn't go the way that you want, you're not immediately part of that flight, it doesn't mean that that's a dead end for you. It just means you're going to have to take a more creative route. So, definitely don't give up on that if that's your passion. Well, guys, I hope you found that information beneficial. Thanks for stopping by Wingman Wednesdays. And if you're part of the information systems flight, or you've ever been part of the information systems flight, and you just want to, share some stories, share some advice, definitely leave that down in the comments below. I'm Bruce Uwaha asking you, hey, where's your wingman? Y'all take it easy. Drinking is still part of this whole process just because I can't for the life of me slow my brain down enough to not speak gibberish.